Hello. It is actually Parshas Vayera right now, but I wanted to make a video and do some catch up regarding Parshas Bereshis. So happy New Year to everyone. And we'll open up with a question: do really bad things that happen beyond our control actually help us being able to see greater insights into the Torah? Many different inspirations for this question. A few of them are just all the crazy things that happen: incest, rape, molestation, being lied to, being drunk, being castrated. Like, there's some crazy stuff that happens in just the first four parshas in the Torah. But the question is, do these things enable us to see greater insights to the Torah? Something that Rabbi Hoffman, my Rebbe, always encourages us to do. It teaches us that we should teach from our mistakes. Miriam was able to teach from her mistakes, and that's how the Jewish people were able to be elevated. Many others. Abraham taught from his mistakes. Adam taught from his. Moshe taught from his. And so does that? I guess just a different way of saying it. Does the bad things that happen to us, things that are out of our control, can they help us see greater insights to the Torah? And how do we channel that energy? How do we even muster it, yet alone channel it into that? And I think the answer for that is going to be questions. Questions, as Rabbi Daniel Katz says, saying "I don't know" leaps you to the front of your consciousness, and then of course allows you to be able to begin to find out what goes beyond "I don't know." The last part was me paraphrasing, but. Uh, So yeah, that's Parashas Bereshis. If you haven't figured out already, actually I have a cold right now, so hopefully our food shlema very quickly. So yeah, so I'm into gematria a lot. I actually had this crazy thing regarding Parshas Noach that I'll hopefully make a video on for the Cubs curse, the Billy Goat curse. So yeah, kind of a weird little thing, but I went ahead and looked at the phrase "Vayera Vayivoker." What I was curious of the gematria of that phrase and breaking it down, and thought it was kind of unique. That Vayerev has a gematria of 303, and Vayivoker has a gematria of 333. And again, this is just using the letters, not using the Nikudot or anything else. So just keep that in mind. But that is gematria for Vayerev Vayivoker is 303, and then 333. I thought it was kind of interesting that Vayerev, that it was evening, right? It was or actually it was twilight. Technically, I think it's Erev. Excuse me. That within that darkness, as we associate Erev with, you have this number 303. And that 303 is unique because, well, first off, it's like an area code. Ironically, Colorado's area code. But what's cool about 303 is that it has a space between the two threes, and so I always kind of looked at the zero as like a ground zero. I didn't mean to say it like that, but just simply like it's neutral ground, and so this was like a teeter totter. It's trying to find a balance between two worlds, and that is the most balanced part, 303. Also 303, if it were, would be a mirror. Those two numbers reflect themselves. Water is a transparent feature. The gematria for the letter mem is 40, and of 40 obviously is 400. So like mem and mayim, it's transparent. So is that zero, has that transparent quality to it. So it's a mirror, and so when you're looking in the dark, you're looking at you. Wow. And we learned from this that it's these dark things that happen to us allow us to get a greater insight to who we are. Which I'll actually skip down to my notes that regarding Eish Kodesh. That Eish Kodesh says the person who learns Torah yet is not transformed thereby into holiness, and Torah is merely a bookshelf containing books. What does that mean? He goes somewhere else with this, but I'm going to suggest this, which definitely is connected to it. Just under his words, of the four worlds, as Rabbi Hoffman teaches, you have the world of Yetzirah, which is the second world, which is represented by, in the davening, the Sukkot Zimri, and also the fruit, which is the orange. And so what's unique about these two aspects is that the second world, Yetzirah, is dealing with the pruning, right? Sukkah means pruning. Uh, in the orange, out of the four fruits, which is the walnut, plum, excuse me, prune, whatever, walnut, plum, and fig. The orange is the only fruit that has a klipa, a shell to it. And so, in order to get to the fruit of the orange, you have to remove the shell. And so there's a pruning that takes place. And when it comes to the gematria of 303, in the dark, you have to strip down to bare minimum, right? Yeah, there's a removing, a revealing, if you will, of nothingness. And then from that nothingness, then you can discover who you are. Or, there's no way of looking at it, you can discover who Hashem is. So Hashem is for you or to you, or who Hashem is with you. Whatever you want to look at it as, just there, you have to remove yourself. And so that's kind of the secret of Vayerev. That phrase that, in 303 we learned that it's not just an area code. It's well, I guess the area code locates, it's specific to where you are. So you got to get specific. You got to get specific. You can't be general. You can't be general. With an orange, you can't be general. You got to peel it, right? You got to start somewhere, but you got to peel it. You got to peel all of it to really enjoy it. And that peeling takes work. It takes having, often sharp nails, to make that happen. So, which is interesting because nails were also as it said, I believe in the Midrash, that our nails are to remind us, like we put our nails up to the Havdalah candle, and it reflects the light, that our nails are actually the symbolic of the skin and the transparency of Adam and Chava's skin before they sinned. The light was reflected through them. Their skin was like it was like our nails. And so, excuse me. So, we have to just be reminded that we got to strip it down. We got to be transparent and keep it real. Keep it real. So, just a few other notes I just want to share with you all, that a seed needs concealment to germinate. This is from the Eish Kodesh, where he also says that a seed, even though a seed needs concealment to germinate, a seed must also negate itself. I'm paraphrasing, but the Eish Kodesh says the seed must negate itself in order to reach its potential. So again, it goes back to that stripping down to the bare minimum, and there's always this concealment and reveal. Sometimes there's some things that just they remain concealed, and they are never revealed, or their concealment becomes greater. I guess I'm trying to get at is the seed. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but you put a seed into the ground. First of all, a seed itself contains potential, therefore the potential is concealed, right? And then you put the seed into the ground, so that's another concealment. And then the tree grows, and so then eventually it produces fruit, right? And then that fruit contains more seed, which is more potential being concealed. And so it's just the potential of that concealment grew. And I think that's so beautiful of the Torah, that it's said there's many facets of the Torah. There's some say that there's 72 levels of the Torah, and how much more so are there 72 levels to the way that we perceive the world, or the world is the world's within us. As it says in the Midrash, that Hashem created and destroyed, meaning worlds, until there was such a minimal light that we had free choice, because that was the whole reason of creating the world, was to enable free choice, and that having of that light it prohibited that. So he had to create the Tzimtzum. There had to be that minimal amount of light. So, I've always wondered if the worlds with that, we, like I said, this life that we're in, when it comes to things of Kabbalah with the Gilgulim, reincarnations, there's certain times I've made a video before where I felt like I met a future, or like an alternate universe of myself. I think it does exist. I think when we have those experiences of familiar people, that is that encounter with all the other worlds, and there was something about that world that couldn't exist in this world. So in a way, we get a glimpse of what that was, but we don't actually know what it was, right? Uh, so yeah. Anyways, this video's getting too long, but I hope you all are doing well. But yeah, like I said, to paint stars, you can't look at them directly in darkness, and in darkness, your peripheral vision is greater. And in final words are to see the light in darkness, your people must yield to the light. As the Anabacoa says, guard the pupil of my eye. And so, may we all be privileged to be able to adjust to the light, but also be able to see light within the darkness as the candle flickers. So, be well. Good Shabbos.